Good. All right, this is Job chapter 19, verse 26. And though after my skin worms destroy this body, yet in my flesh shall I see the Most High. God.
So the reason of what he was talking about doesn't matter. What matters is his knowledge, that he was aware of the afterlife. Go ahead, read again.
All right. It says, and though after my skin worms destroy this body.
So when a body dies, it goes to the ground, and the worms eat it up. Go ahead.
Yet in my flesh shall I see God.
So he said, yet in my flesh I shall see God. So he knows that in the end times, he's going to be on this earth to see the Most High return. To see Yahweh shall return. You could be Job. I could be Job. Go ahead.
Whom I shall see for myself.
Oh, he's going to see him for himself. Go ahead.
And my eyes shall behold, and not another.
It's talking about himself. I mean, I'm going to be back on this earth to see my Redeemer on this earth. I know that my Redeemer lives. He lives in the spirit realm. Go ahead. And I'm going to live too.
Though my reins be consumed within me, but ye should say, why persecute we him?
Okay, that's the point, man. Now you're talking about persecution and all that. Yeah. All right, let's get to the point. Yeah, we don't. Thank you too, brother.
Oh no, I just want to check on that real quick.
Yeah,
I'm
cool.
also a gamer.
You started at 10 again.
Huh? Oh, 10. Yep.
But I only saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath.
That's what all these armies are coming to. That blast. Everybody you see during the military, Air Force, they going to fight the Lord. NATO, European Union. They're going to make all these armies fight the Lord. When you read about the dragon in Revelation, think about the European Union. When you read about the beast in Revelation, think about NATO. When you read about the whore, America. It's all right there. All right? You got one? Go ahead.
We got the Revelation of war in heaven.
Go ahead, yeah.
Revelation 12 and 7. There was a war in heaven, and Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. And the dragon fought
Hey, Star Wars.
Yes.
Star Wars program. Go ahead.
And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon.
The dragon represents the European Union. Go ahead.
And the dragon fought and his angels.
His angels. His angels. Right? The military. Go ahead.
And prevailed not. Neither was their place found anymore in heaven.
Right. What do they call their jets? The angels, right? The Blue Angels?
Yeah. And they call helicopters halos.
This is crazy, man. You know, yeah, come on. Go ahead.
Well, it says, and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven.
Right. So what does that mean? The white man's in heaven right now. We're in hell. Hell is right here on earth. It's a condition played out on earth. So it's going to flip. So once the Lord shows up, this earth isn't given to them anymore. As he read earlier, he's going to put the sheep on his right hand and the goats on the left. So that the earth, he said, inherit the kingdom which has been prepared for you. See that? So that from that point on, it's going to be righteousness on the earth. Once the Lord shows up. All right, go ahead. Let's finish the story. We're going to finish this out. Yep. That's from 11.
Okay, well, I ain't finished yet.
10. Okay.
But I only saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests.
All of that together makes a laser. Go ahead. You put fire, lava, and tempest sparks together, that's a laser. That's concentrated energy. All right, go ahead.
Verse 11. And they were all mixed together.
All mixed together. You see that? Go ahead.
The blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which were prepared to fight, and burned them up, everyone.
Every one of them. Over in Armageddon. Go ahead, bro.
This is going off of that Space Force.
Yep.
This is Obadiah chapter 1. This is Obadiah chapter 1, verse 4. Yeah. Thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord.
Read it again, you're going too fast.
Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle.
Who does that? America. You can look on the back of the dollar.
Yes.
Ever since Rome, right? And what that means is exalt thyself very high too as well. Go ahead.
And though thou set thy nest among the stars.
They set that nest among the stars. They did that in the 70s with the satellites. Right? They put satellites out there. That's their nest. They actually call it a nest or a space station. Right?
They got 2,000 satellites up in space right now. They counted.
You see that? So now they really trying to set their nest out there again with the Star Wars program. All right, go ahead.
This will I bring thee down, saith the Lord.
Then the Lord gonna bring them down. So in the 60s is when the Lord started bringing them down spiritually. That was when the first person was woken up in America named Abba Bivens. And that was Elijah, back in the flesh. And the scripture said Elijah was gonna come back. I can prove it. We can prove it. If you wanted to, by reincarnation. The scripture tell you that Elijah was gonna re-show up in these times. Elijah. Did you know that Elijah was John? You got that? John was Elijah in reincarnation. And the Lord told everybody that. He said, this is Elijah. Good.
This is Matthew chapter 11,
I'm trusting y'all to get it. You know where it's at?
verse 12.
You know it's help them.
And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violence...
Oh, you gotta go read.
Oh, sorry. No, I'm going to skip down.
Somebody get Malachi, the last chapter?
Alright, this is verse 13.
No, you ain't got to get it. I need it.
For all the prophets and the law prophesied until John. And if we will receive it, this is Elias. And if ye will receive it, this is Elias.
Did y'all catch that? Kind of broken up, right?
For all the prophets and the law prophesied until John. And if ye will receive it, this is Elias, which was for to come. He that
did you? No, I'm just listening. No, we gotta do it right. That's why you didn't really hit you. Malachi, I need Malachi. Malachi chapter 4 verse. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
This is Malachi chapter 4. This is Malachi chapter 4 verse 5. It says, "Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of Yahweh."
We're gonna read it again too. That was the last the last book of the Old Testament at that time, besides the Apocrypha. Read again, Michael Shah.
All right. This is Malachi chapter 4 verse 5. "Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of Yahweh.
Right.
And he shall turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the hearts of the children to the fathers, at least I come and smite the earth with a curse."
You got the birth of John and Zechariah, and John and Luke, I think. You know what it said he was born? In the Holy Spirit. And he was in the he got stuck in his dad got stuck in the temple, and the Most High took his voice away. I think it's in Luke.
Yes, in Luke.
Yeah, so you heard that, right?
Yes, I did.
Now read this one, brother. Alright, go ahead, brother. Go ahead, bro. Oh, yeah. No.
Alright, this is Matthew chapter 11, verse 13.
Yeah.
For all the prophets and the law prophesied until John.
Yeah.
And if ye will receive it, this is Elijah, which was for to come.
Luke 1 and 13. Start at 12, huh?
Okay.
Yep.
And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force.
There's a lot going on.
For all
Go ahead, bro.
For all the prophets and the law prophesied until John. And if ye will receive it, this is Elijah, which was for to come.
See that? If ye will receive it, can you not do that? No, please. We really trying to talk right now. All right, go ahead.
Verse 15. He that hath ears to hear, let him hear.
Don't stop y'all ears from hearing this. But I'm still saying it one more time. Go ahead, brother. Can you start from 12 again?
Come on. Verse 12.
Now, you heard in Malachi, he said, "I will send you Elijah before the coming and dreadful day, and he shall return the hearts of the children unto the fathers." All right, go ahead.
And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. For all the prophets and the law prophesied until John. And if ye will receive it, this is Elijah, which was for to come.
Woo! Woo! Oh man, you heard that, right? Mm-hmm. That was in Malachi, Old Testament. Now we went to the New Testament, to where it happened. Right? Go ahead.
He that hath ears to hear, let him hear.
Zechariah 1, Luke 1 and 13. Oh man. Now this is the birth. This is the birth of John. Alright? Mine just said when Elijah shows up, he was going to return the hearts of the children unto the father. And he just said it clearly, straightforward. This is Elijah. And if you got ears to hear, you receive it. That's what the Lord said. Go ahead.
Alright, this is Luke 1 and 13.
Yep.
But the angel said unto him, Fear not, Zacharias, for thy prayer is heard, and thy wife Elizabeth shall bear thee a son, and thou shalt call his name John. And thou shalt have joy and gladness, and many shall rejoice at his birth. For he shall be great in the sight of the Lord, and shall drink neither wine nor strong drink. And he shall be filled with the Holy Spirit, even from the mother's womb. So basically, they try to say an angel came in and impregnated Mary, and Joseph and Mary had sex, and that's how the Holy Spirit was given unto him. All right, but John was also born with the Holy Spirit. So when he go back to Jeremiah was also born in the Holy Spirit. So the ones that are going to be anointed to be able to carry His word are going to have the Holy Spirit within them. It's going to come straight from heaven and then be impregnated in the womb through sexual consent. You know.
Yep. Basically, no, I ain't getting my point yet. But now, basically, immaculate deception is a lie. Deception. The immaculate conception is a lie. Deception. I said it right the first time. Because it's a deception. So, an angel didn't have sex with Mary. The child, that Holy Spirit represents discernment. Having the Spirit on you to discern the truth from a lie. Those children were born with that Spirit. Now, it was a point in time where Yahushua, he had to grow up and learn the difference too. It said, before the child can learn to choose the good, you see that? So the child, Yahushua had to be raised up in the truth. And then when he got older, what happened? The Spirit showed up. He was tempted, but before that, when he showed up to John, the dove came down on him. You see that? So he was going through his stages too. You see that? And you right though, then he got tempted, just like us. All right, go ahead. Now this is the point, back to Elijah.
All right, it says, and many of it, this is Luke 1 and 16.
Right, the birth of John. Go ahead.
And many of the children of Israel shall return to their God, and he shall go before him in the spirit and power of Elijah.
Who?
In the spirit and the power of Elijah.
This is John.
To turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the disobedience to the wisdom of the just, to make ready a people prepared for the Lord.
What did it say in Malachi? He's going to return the hearts of the children unto the Father. It just said the same thing about John. All right, get that Mark 9:11.
This is Mark chapter 9, verse 11. And they asked him,
we're doing great.
And they asked him, saying, Why say the scribes that Elijah must first come?
Like, why are you saying that Elijah going to show up? He did. Right, go ahead.
And he answered and told them, Elijah verily cometh first and restoreth all things.
Right. John did. Go ahead.
And how it is written of the Son of Man that he must suffer many things and be set at naught. But I say unto you that Elijah is indeed come.
See, they already killed John at this point. They cut off his head. So he like, yo, you already killed John. You already killed Elijah. And they're like, what? Elijah was here and we turned against him? Our own people. Right? Well, she seemed cool, but our own people, you know how they can do. Go ahead.
And they have done unto him whatsoever they listed, as it is written of him.
They killed John. They killed Yahushua. You know, what's that, John, I think chapter 1, where it said he came unto his own, and his own received him not. You know, if you want to get it up, just in case, go ahead.
Verse 14. And when he came to his disciples, he saw a great multitude about them, and the scribes questioning with them. And straightway all the people, when they beheld him, were greatly amazed, and running to him, saluted him. And he asked the scribes, What question ye with them?
Right, that's it on that. Go ahead, brother.
This is John 1 and 11. He came unto his own, and his own received him not. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God, even to them that believe on his name, which were not born of
were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God.
Yeah, you can break down that.
All right, so basically, those that receive him are going to have that spirit of discernment and be born with the Holy Spirit. In essential, be born from heaven. All right, but the actual birth from heaven is when we come out of the sky, New Jerusalem, and the whole world sees us coming down from heaven. But on this side, those ones of the elect that have that understanding are the ones that were born with the Holy Spirit. Somebody get Jeremiah 1:3. All right, so it'll be safe to say, if you're out here doing this work in sincerity and truth, hey, I was born of the Holy Spirit. My parents had sex. Going back to the Immaculate Conception. So basically, having that spirit. All right, bring it up. All
right, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 5. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee.
So it's kind of since we came from heaven onto this carnal realm. All right, and our purpose was to come down here and believe in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. That's our purpose.
And before thou comest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee.
Sanctified means, what is that? Holy, set apart. All right, keep going.
And I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations.
All right, boom. And what does Yahweh Shai come and do? The same thing. All the prophets came. John the Baptist, the same way. So the ones that are prophesying in sincerity and truth, if somebody want to get Deuteronomy 18 and 20, the ones that prophesy in sincerity and truth. So it's easy to create a religion and create a way of life. What it does, it does order, puts things in perspective, puts things in a certain order, right? However, what does that do to the sanctification of the Most High? What does that do to profit His will? It sets those apart that are not His, and puts those to the side that are not His, and set those apart, the ones that are His, that were born with that spirit. All right.
This Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 20. But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not. You got
a lot of people that come out here saying they're coming in the name of Allah, and Allah is the truth. Jesus is the truth, right? But keep going.
Which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other gods. Even that prophet shall die. And if thou say in thine heart, how shall we know the word which the Lord has not spoken?
All right, so somebody asked earlier, so how we gonna know who is telling the truth? If all these people are out here saying I have the truth and this is what's gonna this is that, this is where we come from, how are we gonna discern which is the truth? First of all, you have to have that spirit of discernment, the Holy Spirit, and this is another proof. Keep going.
Verse 22. When a prophet speaketh in the name of the Lord, if the thing follow not, nor come to pass, that is the thing which the Lord hath not spoken.
All right, if the prophet speak in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, all right, and it doesn't come to pass, meaning the word is prophesied is the same before. All right, the same before. That's the word prophesy means. So if you're coming out and speaking, all right, they've been telling us in church that we're living in the last days. That's a scare tactic to get you to come back to church and keep giving your money. All right, what are we supposed to be looking for in the? All right, son. All right, what are we supposed to be looking for in those last days? Prophets to come out and prophesy to warn the people. Hey, the RFID chip is the mark of the beast. They're trying to implant it into your body. That's Revelation 13. All right, we are the children of Israel. The so-called white man is the devil. All right. Give them their history. We give our people our salvation and these other nations their judgment. Go ahead.
All right. This is Matthew. Quick interjection. This is Matthew chapter 24. I'm gonna start at verse 4. And Yahweh Shai answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying I am Hamashiach.
See, meaning they don't even have to necessarily come in the name of Yahweh Shai, but they're coming in representation. Like saying, oh, this is the way to go. This is the righteous path. All right, keep going.
And shall deceive many.
And shall deceive many. The biggest deception on this earth is Christianity. So it comes from the 7 ecumenical councils of Nicaea. It's under the Nicene Creed. Keep going.
All right. And it says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, seeing that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
All right, so all these things got to come to pass, but the end is not yet. All right, homosexuality has to be let down in America, because that's supposed to come to pass. Because scripturally, we're in the land of that spiritually Sodom and Egypt. All right, keep going.
It says, for nations shall rise against nations, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famine, pestilence, earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows.
All these are beginning of sorrows. So what are we supposed to do in this time? Our knowledge, it says, knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability in that time. If you've been following in the fashions and the ways of this world, he said, I shall return when my name is prophesied throughout the whole earth. How long has people been screaming Jesus throughout this whole 2,000 years? They've been screaming this name and nothing has been happening. But what's been happening since the 60s, since we've been screaming out Yahweh Shai? A lot of things have been changing. A lot of things have been changing. Our people are waking up. That's why more of us are dying in the streets. Because we're reading books now. We're reading the Bible. We're understanding we're not Africans. We're understanding the truth. The truth will sit down straight from heaven. It doesn't matter what came in first. Because guess what? If you have two children, right? One's the wicked one and one's the righteous one, right? And if something happens, what is the wicked one going to do? They're going to run to the parent first and say, hey, he did it. So now, the one that's the liar then came to the parent first. It doesn't matter if the lie came first. The only thing that matters is the truth when the truth is being revealed. Because the truth was there in the beginning. So at the end, it's going to be made manifest.
I'm going to jump down to 14.
True. That is true.
I'm going to jump down to 14. You said the gospel got to be preached. It says, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached.
Say it one more time. What?
And this gospel.
What gospel?
This gospel of the kingdom.
The spirit of truth. All right. Now, there's no in Revelation 14:4 again. No God was bound in the mouth. Keep going.
Done. It says, for this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come.
Then shall the end come. He's waiting for his elect to be sealed. Then shall the end come when this gospel shall be preached throughout the whole earth. Christianity,
Real quick, all this teaching we doing, and she's trying to push that Jesus name on me. And she really trying to push it on me too.
See what I'm saying?
Ain't that crazy? Go ahead, bro. Hey, I want to get back to the story too, but you know, go ahead, bro. What was you doing?
Nah, he was reading the precept.
All right, go ahead.
All right, and I was pretty much done with it.
Yeah, I want to get back to the story. That's what they were waiting on. All right, go ahead, bro.
Start over. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 13, verse 11.
Yep.
And they were mixed, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude no thing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke.
All the military, all the tanks, everything they coming up with is going to be turned into smoke. Go ahead.
When I saw this, I was afraid.
Right, so you're going to have nuclear fire landing over here, and you're going to have the Lord burning them up over there, and nuclear war breaking out in Israel. All right, go ahead.
Verse 12. And afterwards I saw the same man come down from the mountain and called unto him another peaceable multitude.
Remember in Revelations where it said 144,000 and a small multitude? That's why we went to this. Go ahead.
God.
The Lord took us all around, but that's why we went to this earlier. Go ahead.
Verse 13. And there came much people unto him, whereof some were glad, some were sorry, some of them were bound, and some brought of them that were offered. Then was I sick through great fear, and I awaked and said.
Can you skip over here now to where that, that 10 tribes? Now let's get to that and we're going to cut it.
This is 2nd Esdras 13 and verse 40. And
so Salaki, the angel now on the second page, the angel is basically detailing what he was just saying. He's saying, all right, the vision that you saw, now let me tell you what it means. All right, go ahead.
This is verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners.
These are the 10 tribes. Oh, yes, sir. Mount Zion.
Where it is?
Mount Zion. Where's Mount Zion?